A Queensland teacher will today be honoured for his efforts in connecting high school students with the past. The Kingaroy-based veteran will also be recognised for his work in ensuring World War I widows are not forgotten.
For many, it's a very emotional first meeting.
You do not know me, but I am Ebony. I'm your great-great-niece.
Students traversing the grounds of Gallipoli and the Western Front, hoping to discover a distant relative.
At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
Mackay North State high school teacher Michael Goodwin started the Lest We Forget project 20 years ago. Every 2 years, the Order of Australia medallist takes final year students to World War I battlegrounds, armed with research into the lives of hundreds of fallen soldiers.
If you're going to teach history and what history is all about, it's about the personal stories, it's about people. We are history, the people are the history. So when you take, for example, young people, but I've taken adults as well, and when you go into a cemetery and you stop at a grave and you know the story of that person, let's just say, for example, a young 18-year-old who was killed, or their background, when you tell those personal stories, that's what really hits home. You've got to personalise it, and we all have a story, don't we? And unfortunately, in World War I, as I keep telling the students, there were 60,000 individual stories of men who are then never going to come home. I do have a personal inspiration, and that is my great-grandfather, Albert Fleetwood. He was killed in World War I. He was killed in the Battle of Messines, actually died of wounds received in that battle. And so he's buried over in France. And so I knew a little bit about Albert before we ever started this project, of course. And my beautiful wife, her great-uncle, Harry Fisher, is also buried on the Somme. So we have a personal connection. And so I suppose I was coming from a place where I understood that it was an important thing.
To date, his students have commemorated more than 1,000 Anzacs.
Not just the World War I diggers that these students and other students that I teach understand about, because, of course, young people get interested. So when they hear one story about what happened in one war, they want to know what happened in other wars. So, I've got students who, talk about, I want to research my uncle who was at Vietnam and things like that.
Michael and Vietnam veteran Donald Davey will represent Queensland at the 2020 RSL Anzac of the Year Awards, honoured for their work in keeping the Anzac spirit alive.
Yeah, just very, very proud. So many people before have done so much to deserve this honour. I got no idea where the award came from, or the nomination came from, but man, very pleased.
Donald has dedicated his life to helping widows as well as returned servicemen and women, lending a helping hand to secure pensions and compensation for injuries and illnesses such as PTSD. Julia Bradley, Sky News.